2, 1.
AM in the PM only on A2D Radio. Tom and Brett, these guys are fucking awesome.
You know I'm going to switch it for you, Ralphie. Oh, we're going to talk about Phillies in a little bit here. Just bear with us. I got a lot to get off my chest from the people on Facebook. This is atrocious.
Go ahead, roast away right away. Go ahead, roast away.
I will. We'll get right into it. But
I know you might need to get a little fired up, a little juices flowing. So get through the opening and then roast away. Go for it.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it. I mean, this is AM in the PM / a piece of the fix here on A2D Radio.
A big piece.
Every Wednesday, we're brought to by Art Doc. Make them yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Mwakovic, the family out there joining us. Welcome in. We got a lot to talk about. Sports are back. Exciting times and not exciting times at the same time, if that's even possible. It's exciting they're back, but it just brings out more idiots, and this is what we're dealing with tonight. Dumbest thing of the week could very well be the comments being made, so it could be a double dip of the roasting of these comments. Flyers versus Caps preview, Phillies doubleheader versus Yankees, Sixers versus Wizards postgame. We'll talk about what transpired earlier, 2-1 start for the Sixers. So, after an 0-1 and a real shaky performance, and a shaky performance in game 2 as well, you're still 2-1 and haven't played your best basketball, so you'll take it. Still big time room for improvement. We all agree there. Thank God Ben Simmons' MRI came back negative. That's gigantic for the process here. Our poll question, which we'll get to in a minute. Still going to read it off. Brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. 20% off. Telling the boys from A2D Radio sent you. Gutter guards, gutter installation, deck restoration. They got it all for you. Everything outside your house. AmbuckServices.com. Joel Embiid is the Bubbles MVP so far. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live. And everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there as well. Like, follow, subscribe. You know the deal there. Boys, before we get the Sixers, because it's coming. We'll get to them. Sometimes losing in this city always becomes a hot topic. And really, more so than losing, it allows idiots to come on out of the woodwork. And what we're seeing tonight is numerous people on social media already after a Phillies bullpen collapse here. Really one guy, Tommy Hunter, collapse in the 7th of the AAU MLB game tonight. There's people out there saying, oh, should have kept Gabe Kapler. See, look, this wasn't Gabe Kapler's fault. See, we should have gave Gabe Kapler one more year. Who is Gabe Kapler besides the worst manager in Major League Baseball, if not professional sports? A guy who doesn't know the rules of the game. A guy who has the weirdest vocabulary for parts of the game. We've witnessed him get outmanaged numerous occasions here in Philadelphia. We watched 2 separate collapses. All right, and we watch tonight, which is no fault of Joe Girardi, really, in my opinion, because you went to a veteran who needs to come out and get some outs, and didn't. Couldn't miss a barrel tonight. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do in his spot? But to act like Gabe Kapler is even on the level of Joe Girardi just shows your baseball IQ, one. Secondly, have you watched any Giants games this year? Have you seen the guy go to the pen? And
God bless you.
I mean, the guy is going to somehow figure out how to wear out a pen in 60, right? I mean, the guy will wear out a pen in 60. Okay? So I just don't understand the people out there that are on this, this legal team this defensive team for Gabe Kapler out there. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. For what? For what? For what? What do you see as you're such a baseball guy? Then what do you see that tells you that nothing had to do with Gabe Kapler? It was all the players, and that's it. And if you want to talk to me about tonight, well, talk to me about an ownership that's halfway in and halfway out. Okay? That's what you can talk to me tonight about. You want to put all the faces together, but are you really trying to win? And what I mean by win is Broad Street. I don't mean win 90, win 88. Are you really trying to win? Because the looks of this bullpen isn't an organization that's really all in to win right now either.
Not close, not at this point, Tommy. And you could actually go back to last year too about, a lot of people are saying, I see it on Facebook and stuff like that in the Phillies group about, you want to talk about Gabe, but you never want to bring up Clintack. But look at 2 years ago when you were in the running for Machado, right? And it came down to the last second and you didn't want to put anybody in there. And obviously the Dodgers went ahead and did their thing. Then you looked at the trade deadline last year, right? You were 2 pieces away from actually making a run, and you really didn't get anybody that improved your team, right? Now you look at this year's too, right? Off season, we needed pitching, right? Obviously, you need another guy in the rotation. We got Zach Wheeler, but then after Wheeler, it just stopped, right? You didn't get anybody for the bullpen, and this is what happens when you don't put any stock in your bullpen. You just have slop in your bullpen, nobody in the back end except for Neris, and you saw it tonight. Now Aaron Nola deals again for the Phillies. The bats go silent, and the bullpen just goes, whatever.
Well, I think that's it.
And it sucks. It sucks for Nola because it's becoming a new normal for him over these past 2 years that whenever he has a great night and over 10 strikeouts a night for Nola, and it just seems like he just can't get any offense or bullpen help when he starts.
Never. Yeah. Very rare. The fact that they hit in game 1 made you sort of think they may not hit well in game 2. That came to fruition. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to go to your pen for 3 outs and try to go win it in the bottom of the 7th. And the fact that no matter who you go to there is one, a lose. And Girardi said, well, Neris wasn't available game 2. So who else are you going to? You go to a veteran and Tommy Hunter and hope he can get outs. And he didn't. So at the end of the day, you can blame Girardi for not leaving Nola in. But at 88 pitches, I can't really be too critical of it. I can't be too. I might let him go out and see if he gets out.
Now,
you know what I mean? Like maybe I let him go out and see if he get the first out of the inning and see if it's an easy out, right, or a quick one. Maybe I let that happen. So maybe I'm not fully on board with not leaving him out there for another out at 88. But I also understand the rationale behind it too, to a point.
And I was going to ask if there was no stoppage of play and the Phillies weren't off for a whole week because the stuff that was going on with COVID and stuff like that. At 88 pitches tonight, do you think Nola still goes in that game?
Yes.
Keeps on going?
Yes.
If just hypothetically, if they didn't have that whole week off and everything was still going on.
Yeah, because this would have been his 3rd start, right? He gets ramped up 1 start. Now they sit. Now he's going to get ramped up again. You know what I mean? And although it's a short and 60-game season, to them it's still a long season, right? You still need Aaron Nola 7 more times. You know what I mean? Or 8 more times, however many starts he's going to get. So, yeah, I completely agree. I would have liked to see him go out, but I completely understand the rationale. After you sit down for a week of not playing, it being his 2nd start, he increased by about, I think, 12 pitches or so. He was right around 75. Maybe 78. So he was right, increased again. Joe talked about it in his presser. He, probably, next start he hopes to get to 100. And then, obviously he's then stretched out. You also got to remember, too, on top of not even just the pitches, it's the Yankees lineup. A lot of those pitches are stressful pitches because of that lineup and the allure of that lineup, too. You know what I mean? And that has to play, too. That's the way a lot of coaches look at it as well, is the stressful of the pitches as well.
Yeah, to me, not even about stress. I guess it's his second outing instead of what would have been his third. And, I'm okay with him coming out of the game there. I mean, like I said, you can Monday morning quarterback it. I probably would have let him go see if he can get the first out, right, and then go from there. But, I mean, I understand if they added him to a certain limit and he got through what he needed to get through and pitched a hell of a game, then, I mean, I'm okay with it. So somebody else needs to come in and be able to get outs, right, and not completely find a barrel on every pitch. It felt like that was made contact of.
And you're absolutely right.
Blue pit. I mean, these balls are drilled. When balls are drilled, when balls are drilled at the professional level, I get annoyed consistently. Okay, because who are you then? You're just a guy collecting a check again. Tommy Hunter. Who's Tommy Hunter been for the last 3 years? Besides a guy who's either injured or not good enough.
Yeah.
What has he been for the last 3 years?
Yeah, and he hasn't been anything for the past 3 years. You're absolutely right. Ever since he's been here, it's either like you said, he's been injured or he's just getting raped every time. There's no good side of Tommy Hunter so far for the Phillies.
None at all. None at all. Quentin says too much for Harper. Should have invested in some arms like Wheeler and Nola though. They're like, I mean, they're obviously invested in, and the thing is you didn't spend too much for Harper because if you're trying to win, Quentin, it shouldn't matter about going over the luxury tax. You should expect when you sign him that you're going to be up against it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. And expect
Absolutely.
that. And have to understand, well, if we want to win. So
and even last year when we signed Harper in his whole press conference and stuff like that, he even talked about his contract down when they had the press conference about, taking some less money cap wise, so you can go out and get other players. So he's not holding up against the whole entire the payroll. So I mean, it just goes another thing on Clintack is just not giving the bullpen any other guy that can come in and shut it down.
Yeah, where they really lost is that secondary free agent signing, right? You went and got Wheeler. And you didn't have to go out and get, that next high guy, right? But if you would have went out,
somebody that can come in and shut it down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that middle age, whether that was Dallas Keuchel, right? He was rumored out there. Obviously Cole. I know Cole's hurt, but like someone, somewhere of that age, you didn't have to go out and get an overpay for a big time star, but you needed someone else that's been able to do it in the league to stabilize your rotation more than two guys.
Yeah.
I'm not even as worried about the rotation being two guys if I have a good bullpen.
That's true. Yep.
I'd rather have a good bullpen and invest in two, top end starters, right? And have a lights out pen. I'd rather have that direction anyway. I need guys at this level to be able to come in and get outs. And nothing in this pen scares you as a hitter. Mm-hmm. Nothing in this pen is scary.
No.
You have more arms, either not on
top to bottom, Tommy. I agree. Top to bottom, nothing scares me.
Nothing. You have more arms in your farm system that would be scary than what's up with the big league level. Also, an indictment of Matt Clintack because he's not pulling triggers, right? The other indictment is they don't want to go over the luxury tax, so they're going to leave veterans off of this roster that maybe weren't better. Who knows? But the fact that you didn't even take chances limits to who you can go to. I mean, it's just a mess back there. You got a bunch of guys you don't even damn know. It's disgusting. It's halfway in. It's not good enough. Unacceptable.
I think it was either the first game of the season or the second game of the season. It seemed like I forget who came in, but there was like at least two guys that were making their MLB debuts out of the bullpen for the Phillies. The first two games of the year, and it's like it goes exactly to what Greg and you were saying, Tommy. Yeah, to where like you couldn't get an older guy that's been in this league that's done it for a longer time just to sit in your bullpen and be that guy that can come in and at least give you 2 to 3 innings.
Yeah, and everything that's happened in the world has zero excuse on what they came in the spring training with and what they were going to be leaving with on their big league club because they made that pretty clear on the right now, right? They made that pretty clear on who they were going to take right now. So that's who impressed them enough in spring training when they look back on it. So, there's no excuse for not addressing it last winter. There's no reason that you don't address it with an arm or two, with a veteran or two, or not even a veteran, a legit back in a bullpen type arm.
And especially when you knew that Sir Anthony was going to get that was going to be gone for the year anyway with the Tommy John. So you knew already in the wintertime that you're down a bullpen guy, right? You're already down one. Yeah, and you still didn't do anything.
Did nothing. Joseph says, you don't think he was throwing over this last week? I don't know what that man. Get out of here. Hoskins stinks. Kingery stinks. Quintak is going to lose. Realmuto. Harper's overpaid. Bullpen is awful. Girardi can't polish his turd, but he also went above criticism. Should have left Noah in. Okay. I mean, I said that. I think he could have went.
They might have been throwing. I don't think they were throwing. Who are they throwing to? They got a catcher coming over to catch them? You know what I mean? Like when you're supposed to be quarantined and bubbled off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who are you throwing to?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't throw. Maybe he went outside and had a catch.
I mean, they might have had catch, but they're not throwing bullpens.
No. Nope. And like, you know what I mean? And I might agree with you on some other things in there, but I also said that I would have left him in I would have ran him out for the first out and seen if it was smooth. And if it was really like cruise control, then you just let him cruise through it.
Right.
And you take the 2 wins today, right? Against a damn good baseball team. And you're real happy about it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand that each game in a sample isn't the end all be all, but also it sort of is. Now that you're 2-4, I mean 3-3 looks a lot better.
Yeah, 2-4, and you got to come back tomorrow and play the same team. So you could go 2-5 tomorrow. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Phillies. And we sat here, 2 weeks ago saying how much of a fast start you got to get on because it's a sprint now, 60 games, right? If you get off to a bad start, you're digging yourself in a grave. And you're 2-4 right now. You lose tomorrow. You're 2-5. It's not looking good for the Phillies. Not looking good.
Don says right now, 1 out of 10. How confident are you in the Phillies? 4.
Yeah, I'm right with you. 4 or 5. Yeah, it's
3.
Two.
I'm confident in my guys. I liked what I saw at Arrieta the other night. I really liked what I saw. He didn't have his best stuff, but he battled, and we were in the game until one of those who guys comes in and just finds barrels again, right?
The first guy out of the bullpen has given up 14 earned runs so far this year.
14 earned runs.
The first guy out of the pen.
The first guy out of the pen
has given up 14 earned runs. First off, I sure as hell wouldn't be the first guy out of that pen right now. I would refuse. I refuse service. You understand? You would call to that, I'll pick up and hang up.
Sorry, phone's not working. Phone's not working.
I have to figure it out. Go put Let Hazley throw again like he's at Virginia.
Just put Roman Quinn back on the mound, right?
Yeah, put anybody back on the mound that's going to get shoved because whoever we're bringing in is. So
Canadians won. Hate to see it. Penguins lost. Hate to see it.
Oh, yeah. Screw the Penguins.
4-3.
Lord says, are we talking about the Phillies first only to build drama for the apology to Shake after rebounding with good performances? No, Lord, no apologies. No apologies. I said he wasn't crown worthy. That's all. I didn't say, I might have said he stinks in the moment, but I don't recall, but not, I would say stinks because people think he's, Isaiah. And by Isaiah, I mean Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, so that's where I would come up with that. He stinks then. If you think he's Isaiah Thomas, then he stinks. Calm down. Jordan Smith says 4 is high. Yeah, it is. It is. Greg said 3, and I also said 2 and 1. So, I'm under 5. I can tell you that. This is my Jordan. It doesn't look good. Here we go. This is why we let off, Lord, because of guys like Mark. This is why we switched it up and said there's no way we can allow this to take place with this fan base. Because, Mark, I love you, and with all due respect, So which means I can say whatever the hell I want. You know how that goes. We watch enough movies. So I'm not gonna read it off yet. I'm just gonna tell you before I do read it off. If baseball is your favorite sport, pick another one. You know what I mean? Like if it's you like them all, start listening baseball as your fourth knowledgeable. That's all. You understand? So if you're like, oh, I'm a big four-sport guy, fine. I hope you are. But start switching it around wherever you have it. And then if you have a big board, boom. Baseball, Phillies, fourth. Anything else, you can lift above it. I'm not even going to critique anything else. You get the Eagles one. You're most knowledgeable about football, hockey, basketball. I don't care. When it comes to baseball and the Phillies, it's fourth. All right? We're picking for you. Right? We just created your big board of Philly sports knowledge. And Phillies and baseball are fourth. Boom. Okay? Stamp it, Mark. Now I'll read off your comment. Bro, if we're going to blame Gabe for the past 2 years, we got to blame Joe for this, right? Let's face it. We are in a rebuild. Quintek needs to be the first to go. Nolan needs to go back out for the seventh. If you pull him, it's got to be for Neris. Well, Mark, he said that because Neris threw in game one, he's a pitch over that where he was going to be at. So they weren't going to throw him in game two today. So that was just that. Okay? And the second thing is the guy threw 88. I agree with you. Maybe go back out for an out. But again, they had a number with him, and they stuck to their number. In his second start, I have to sort of then respect his number and say, hey, Tommy Hunter, can you come get a couple outs? And don't even compare this year's bullpen to the years in the past. You understand that, Mark? Because now your eyes don't work at all. Because now you're comparing to bullpens that aren't even the same, aren't even close to the same. There was not legitimate, but there was names in these bullpens 2+ years ago. There was at least some names of guys like, oh, he can get an out or two maybe, right? Maybe. This is a baseball team that failed come August and September. I'm not crowning the bullpens in years past, but there was more guys that I know who that is. Oh, yeah, I know who that is. You understand? I don't know who a couple of these guys are. Never heard of them. And I'm not the only one to say that. If you heard of them, you're a damn liar. You understand? I've heard of Tommy Hunter. I've heard of the Jose Alvarez. I've heard of Hector Neris. You understand? I've heard of the guys out of Morgan. There's a couple of names like I have no idea who they are. Never heard of them. So, okay. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. You're gonna be the Gabe apologist now. You're not gonna watch anything he does in San Francisco. How clueless the guy is consistently. How he's gonna somehow wear a bullpen out in 60 games. You're not gonna take into consideration that at all. You're just gonna be. You just want to rub the coconut oil on your body and say it wasn't the power accuracy comment. It was, it wasn't that. It wasn't Vince is a tremendous competitor. Shit. Everybody at the big league level should be is probably a damn competitor, or they ain't getting there. So one, shut the hell up about telling me how professional is a competitor, you jackass, when he can't get through three. He can't get through the second time around through a lineup. But you can tell me how much he competes, and that's cute. That's hot in the street, okay? At the end of the day, it means jack shit at the professional level. They all should be competing. If you're good or you're not good enough, you're either good or not good enough. He's not good enough, okay? So you can blow smoke up people's asses all you want, Gabe. But that's all he did. Like, you listen to his pressers, Mark, and you thought that was a baseball guy, brother? You thought that guy was smart? Shit. I gotta watch who I communicate with when it comes to the Phillies now. You know what I mean? You, Spielman, Brad, freaking one more year. 1 more year of what? 1 more year. You guys sound like the chicks. I think you guys are the three chicks here now. Are these the chicks? Are they the chicks? I can't see too well. Are they chicks? Want him here for his looks? Get a clue. Peltero, I'm not there. Right there. Would you stop it? Now we're 2-1 in the bubble. Calm down. All right? Maybe give him his job.
Everyone's defense is sucked in the bubble. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
What point am I missing? What point? Because all I see is Sean spatting off at the mouth every 5 seconds on Facebook. All right? I see guys defending that, and now you're defending it. So what am I spatting off? What am I missing? What am I wrong with? Apologize for saying I don't know baseball. That's reckless. No, it's not reckless. When you guys defend Gabe Kapler, I will purposely say you guys don't know baseball. All right? So stop it. Don't defend the guy like you 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 I've already seen on Facebook. Defend them and then think that I can't say that you guys don't have a clue about baseball. Because that's reckless. Defending them is reckless. Me then rebuttaling with cluelessness on so many levels of the game becomes just common sense. What you did is reckless. What I'm doing is just reiterating that you might not have a clue. So I'm telling you, take a step back, punch yourself square in the face, Mark. Come back rejuvenated with it. You know what I mean? I love you, but come back rejuvenated. Because right now, what you're saying is the most reckless shit in Philly sports history. That's like asking Rich Kotite to come back. Oh, you gave Rich a couple more years. Right on the doorstep, Richie. It's an apologist bullshit, is what it is. What makes you think he was qualified for this job at all? From Jump Street, compared to a guy like Joe Girardi? Like, so if you had to interview both, we'll just leave it at this. We'll just leave it at this. If you had to interview both, who are you hiring?
Well, you already know my answer.
Chip Kelly.
I love it. I love it.
Do you, Ralph? Do you? Do you love it? Because that's what will happen with that. He's back. Let him back in. No, I understand about Clintack. I understand about Clint. This isn't even much about you, Mark, as it's about Sean, really. You just were the first to come in. When his ass gets in here, I'll take his ass to the shed. And I love him, too. But he'll get shedded up. I agree with Clintack. He's the worst general manager in baseball. Them two were two jackasses together.
So coconut oil on each other.
So I don't know what.
Can you get my back, Gabe? I'll get your back if you get my back.
Matt Quintack's made one good pick so far, it looks like, as the general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. As of right now. And that's Adam Hazley. That's it. That's it in his tenure. Buy a couple clues to the people out there that will defend Clintack on a guy who had the number 1 pick of the draft and a couple top 15 opportunities and one guy at the big league level.
He was there for he was there for the Mickey draft, correct? The Moniak draft, right? Mm-hmm. Well, how's he doing? Is he still in?
You tell me, Ralph. You tell me how he can't make a 60 man. He can't make a 60 man. He can't even be a doorstep guy. Hey, Mick, can he come play? Nope.
Pete Alonso's doing pretty good in that draft. Shane Bieber's doing pretty good from that draft.
Both starters on their respect teams, right? Yeah, pretty good too. Both of them, pretty good.
Oops.
While ours is still trying to get his way up here.
Joe, I don't know. I mean, you think it's an easy sport to manage? I don't know. I disagree to a point. I disagree.
A lot of mind games.
The American League version is easier than National League, yes, because you're right. You do have the DH. You don't have to worry about a double switch. You don't have to worry about all that. However, the game of baseball is not an easy game necessarily to manage, especially at the highest level.
I'll agree with that to a point, but I mean, a double switch, that's amateur hour. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
well, we've seen it. We've seen it screw up a lot of guys.
Well, we've seen it from a jackass. I'm just saying, a double switch is amateur hour. I mean, there's guys sitting up there doing their own scorebook that can make the double switch in the stadium with peanuts and shit. They could be the wrong double switch. I'm not saying it could be the right player, the right guy out of your pen, but the guys are able to make a double switch. So I mean, everything. Everything. Whatever, Mark. But at the end of the day, with Mark, I agree with you on Clintack, but you just got to stop. You can't come in here defending Kapler at any stretch. That's it. That's all comes with that point.
It's the one bugaboo. It's the one bugaboo.
And no, I'm never going to calm down. Yeah, listen, man, Pelter, I know the defense hasn't been good. Better tonight. I know you're playing nobody, but you only give up 97. You played nobody in the 2 nights before that too, and you gave up way more than 97. So
go look at the games that have been in the bubble. The only team that I think has been playing defense is Toronto. Okay, because it seems like every game in the bubble it's 80 to something to 70 at halftime. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of defense in the bubble. I'll tell you that. A lot of no defense.
listen, nobody's playing a lick in the bubble. Nobody's playing a lick.
No,
And guys are hitting everything in the bubble.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. I mean, we can shift. I mean, we did a half hour of Phillies. I mean, I'm good. I just want to get off my chest.
That's a great comment from Lord.
Because I will admit I'm not a baseball fan, but step back and punch yourself in the face has to be the most hilarious comment. I felt right. I think what happened is, I hope I'm wrong because I've known Mark for a good amount of time. I hope he ain't first team all sensitive and has backed himself out of the chat. I just hope he's better than that. All right, because you can't come in places in somebody else's home, right, and start defending Gabe Kapler. I mean, that's how you get shot in this area. I mean, you know what I mean? That's how you get capped. Not like a kill shot. Like, I mean, we're not killing. You know what I mean? Like a flesh wound. You know what I mean? Something minor. A
grazing shot.
Yeah, like, but that's how you mean. That's how you get a little, snipe from the woods. Like, what happened? A dart in my neck?
You're awesome, man.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. You got a dart in your neck. Sorry,
Vinny is not pitching tomorrow. Eflin's on the mound for the Phillies tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not sure. I don't know if one's better than the other, honestly.
I've actually seen good out of Eflin, so I'd rather watch that. It hasn't been a lot, but I've seen recent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at you, Palotero. I mean, you're already naming guys. We're not even out of the bubble yet. Can we just get out of the bubble, and then you can tell me everybody you want as a head coach? Okay, you can tell me everybody you want for the Sixers head coach once we get out of the damn bubble. Okay, until then, I can't. All right, I can't. What's wrong, Jay? Was he giving a thumbs down? Got the Lakers? Yep. I won't miss that shift worth a lick. And a lot of other guys use that ridiculous shift too, and they should all be fired. But that's the story for another day. What was wrong with Harper? Pelter's, I hope Harper and Big Ben are okay. We know Ben is, but
it seemed like during the first game he came out of it. Obviously, they were up big. He seemed like he maybe tweaked the back on the swing, but he was in game 2, so he was fine.
Yeah,
he went back, must have got a massage and rubbed out and adjusted and was back for game 2 and played the whole time.
I wanted to sign them, but that's just me.
We know.
I want to went a couple different directions. Or you know what I really would have just did?
Use that $330 million for bullpen arms.
Maybe that, and be like the Brewers and Rays on steroids. Yeah. Like maybe, and the Yankees pen on steroids, like the combination of the three, but then on steroids. Like I have all 3 of them guys.
Just have 15 dudes in your bullpen.
We combine their pens and we say and on steroids.
Yeah.
Just HGH or just on a bang. That's fine too. But whatever. And then boom, you got the greatest bullpen of all time. But no, I'm not saying I wanted to sign Harper because I don't give a shit about money when it comes to baseball, right? Because if you're a big market, it doesn't matter. So it really doesn't. So I wouldn't. It's not even that. I just would have never made Matt Quintek my general manager with no general manager experience. When I'm going through a rebuild, right? When I'm going through a situation where I got to nail picks, right? I don't want.
What did Quintek do before? He was with Baltimore, but I know he wasn't the G. What was he before? What was he in Baltimore before he came here?
He was with the Angels as well, and he was all an assistant type of role.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, both of them, they were kind of similar, just like office roles and assistant to the advisor and stuff like that.
Yeah, so something small, and then you get the big step. You step over everybody and you become the GM.
That's what happens when Andy McPhail gets hired and then brings who he thinks is the guy with him.
Yeah, because weren't they both at Baltimore? They were both at Baltimore together, correct?
Yeah.
Hey, man, yeah.
So trying to be the smartest guy in the room, get you bent over.
Yep.
Get you dropping the soap talk, but at the at the MLB level, in the executive suite. That's what that gets you. Because I think that's what John Middleton's got. John Middleton, with all due respect, and he's probably got great cigars. You know what I mean? But not a guy I look at and say that's a baseball guy. That's the money guy, man. So the money guy, he's reckless too, because he said stupid money, but then won't go over a luxury tax.
Yeah.
Now, does some of that have to do with what's going on in the world and losing money? I'm sure, but I don't feel bad for billionaires. You know what I mean? I just don't feel bad for billionaires. Millionaires, you know what I mean? And in the rest of the world, a lot, right? But I can't feel bad for a billionaire, ever. So, shut up, sell your cigars, and go over
a couple to A2D. We'll try them out for you, John.
I won't.
I will.
Not until you're over 500.
I always take free stuff, so.
Nah, okay. We'll take it. I'll break it on air. Snap your cigars in half on air for the lack of respect that you have for this for any type of legitimate arms. And it all comes back to the guy that you hired, because it's on you. You hired him. So you hired Andy McPhail. You hired Matt Klentak. You signed off on them deals. Okay.
Well, and don't forget, though, Tommy, Klentak was about to let Harper go somewhere else, dude, until Middleton stepped in and said, whoa. let me jump on this plane. Let me go out there to Vegas and talk to him. And then, the next 2 days is history and Harper's in pinstripes. But can't forget about that Klentak was about to give up on Harper and go a different route.
Let's never forget, Ralphie. Never forget.
What up, Prism?
What up, Prism?
So do you want to know actually Klentak's official titles before coming to the Phillies?
Yeah, I like your horse shit titles.
So
made up shit.
In 2003, he was in the Colorado Rockies in their baseball operations department. He then worked for Major League Baseball as labor relations. He worked with Andy McPhail with the Orioles in 2006 on the collective bargaining agreement. In 2008, still with the Orioles, he was hired as director of baseball operations. 2011, he was hired in Anaheim as the assistant general manager. And then in 2015, when Anaheim fired, Jerry DePardo resigned, the Angels hired Billy Epler, not Matt Klentak.
So there you go.
Paving the way for us this time, Matt Klentak.
Robbie, so there you go. Yep, that's it.
There you go. Hey, we saw him and say, hey, this dude might have potential, right?
Philadelphia Phillies, led by McPhail.
And that's what we do in Philadelphia sports, right?
Interview Klentak for the general manager position. And the rest is history, as they say.
You know what the Phillies did here? You know what they did? They probably – he was there, in 2015?
Yeah, he got hired in 2015.
Yeah. Then the dude resigned, I think, the next year, right? You said, Greg, in 2016. But then they hired somebody else over him.
No, we hired Klentak October 2015.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And when was he in? And then when was he in Anaheim or LA? Wherever the heck
2011. 2011, he was hired as their assistant GM.
So when was Trout drafted?
2008, 9.
Okay, so
somewhere around there.
I was trying to make sure I was connecting the dots and making sure.
I might be wrong about that.
Nine. You were right, Ralph. 9.
Good. He had nothing to do with any of that there, and that's why he wasn't continuously getting jobs around baseball, right? Like somebody fell in your freaking lap, okay, and he probably got lucky as shit that you found him, and he turned himself into the best player in baseball. Okay, and then you're getting job after job because of it. Then I got a problem. I already have a problem with it, but then I got a major issue with it. So he's just So he's just a jackass. Is all he is. He can't even get credit for that. You know what I mean? So he gets credit for nothing. Just a jackass. So with no legitimate like background to it, like nothing. Like again, same thing with Kapler. Like nothing. No head coaching experience. Like not even a bench coach anywhere.
Yeah,
not even like a hitting coach.
Just in general, I don't know why teams do that to even begin with. Hire a guy that has no coaching experience, right? A dude that was just a guy that just wanted to inspire prospects throughout the organization becomes a head coach in a snap of a finger.
And be a weight room guy.
Yeah. Greg here.
A guy that pats you on the back and tells 18 and 17-year-olds like, hey, you're the next Joe DiMaggio, and then next day he's the head coach of the Phillies. So I just never understand why organizations do that to begin with.
Mark, I'll read through it again, brother. But I was more fired up of Spielman commenting on 45 million things already about Kapler, and you just triggered it. So yes, I told you I wasn't going to read it. I told you right away when I saw his name and something about his fault. I automatically saw red, triggered, and business taken care of. And now we can break bread again, enjoy ourselves, and say that Matt Quintek is the worst general manager maybe in sports, okay? Because I don't know many general managers that, through losing, can't build a farm system.
Yeah.
You lost, and you still can't build a farm system.
Unreal.
I mean, listen, and Kapler with the whole, being a player development guy, that's all great, man. You can say these weird words in player development.
Yeah, to like 18 and 19-year-olds, right? Trying to make it.
Some kid literally got off a plane the day before, right? And has like a work visa. Okay?
Yeah.
Like you might be able to inspire that with your weird words. Okay? You understand? You might be able to inspire kids that come from nothing with your weird words that are already inspired to play, right? Because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? That's a different kind of player development. And then
you need those Cotto guys down there too.
Yeah, but then you're gonna get your young kids out of high school, right? Or kids out of college, and you're gonna get that too. But you know what I mean? But then you're gonna get a lot of younger kids from a lot of different countries, right? And that are trying to make their way out, right? That are already hungry, so your big words don't mean shit.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do with developing that player. That player was already pre-developed. Okay? Have you ever seen videos of constant work in Latin American countries? Like constant, because if you talk to anybody from them places, it's like, how it is for, a lot of kids that grew up in inner cities for basketball and other sports, right? It's the same thing. It's like their only way out outside of an education. And a lot of kids like that will come from more of a hard work ethic. Not that kids that come from privileged lives won't have hard work ethics, because there's plenty of them too. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, when you get to that level, player development, what are you really doing? What do you that's my whole point of it. What are you really doing? Just telling a guy it's going to be okay all the time? What else are you doing?
Yeah, you're doing exactly what he did here. He was trying to be everyone's friend. You know what I mean? He was trying to be everyone's friend instead of the manager, instead of the leader. He was trying to be everyone's friend.
Yep.
At the professional level. Yeah.
Right. At the highest level of the professional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you said, wow. Down low, you need that guy. You need that guy that you can, get that 18, 19, that guy first time in the United States over that proverbial, mental wall and mental hump that they're trying to go over. First time being away, first time being in another country. That's where Gabe was probably really good at. That Cotto, I'll pat you on the butt, might rub some coconut oil on your back.
Oh, whatever. That's a whole nother level. A whole nother one. But listen, we can shift. and go to our main topic, which we didn't get into right away. And if you missed the game, it's airing right now again on NBC Sports Philadelphia, who has laid off a boatload of people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why you start your own thing, man. A little 101 talk. You don't let billionaires dictate it to you. You dictate to yourself. Don't feel bad for billionaires. Here we go again. You lose a little bit of cash, and now everybody's going in every market. Guys are getting canned. A whole boatload. I mean, it was like when you have to trim your roster size back down. Like, what I mean? Like during camp. You know what I mean? That's what it was like today. Like they had to trim roster sizes down for the regular season. Say a lot of axes. Woo. Yeah. All around, and not just in this market. That's what I mean, like all around. Plenty of markets. Caught some people. But the game is on, so you can go back and watch it. But our poll question, Joel Embiid is the Bubbles MVP so far. Agree or disagree? I mean, another 30, 11 game tonight. It's been flat out on fire.
Talking about dominance, man. Jesus. Seems like he hasn't lost his step. He has not lost his step since that.
He came in out of shape. You know what I mean? Definitely came in out of shape.
Yeah. yeah.
Everybody was so worried about how Joel would come in. And we're back.
And we're back, Mark.
We're back. Let's go.
Totally redeemed yourself.
He's back. But yeah, everyone was so worried about how, Joel would come in because of a couple, obviously there's comments early on that maybe didn't want to necessarily come back, but he's obviously shown that he's here and he's ready to play, and he looks good. You know what I mean? He looks good. He looks fluid. When he hits the floor, you still cringe every once in a while, but
yeah.
But no, he looks good, and I would agree to the poll. I don't watch much of the other stuff. I just watch the Sixers really, but averaging 32.5 and 13.5 through 3 games, and you're 2-1. And even in the one loss, it wasn't on you. Obviously, dropping 40 and 21.
There's nothing. Yeah,
you did your job, right?
Yeah.
You did your job. Yeah. So no, I'm definitely in agreement on that poll.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm right with you. I mean, he's came out to your point, and people said, "Oh, he's out of shape." Blah 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 blah. Well, he's came out and been his dominant self when he's healthy. And this is what we're seeing. This is what we expect to see. Looks really good doing it too. Not Sixers issues early on defensively. I don't put on him. So everything else that he can control, he's controlled, in my opinion. Flat out's been dominant. Now, is he the Bubbles MVP so far? I guess you can make that case. I guess I can agree with that because they are 2-1 team, even though they haven't really played anybody, potentially, right? So, they're a 2-1 team, but you're a 2-1 team. So, it could be worse. You could have lost the game the other night, too.
Yeah, right? You could be saying if you lost that game, you would have been 1-2 right now, right? And maybe having talking a different conversation. So,
yep. And there was times even today where they were struggling, but again, when you come out with a win, it's all that really matters. Yep. Why can we not handle the Washington Wizards?
And just put them away from the jump. You know what I mean?
Why do the Washington Wizards just give us issues all the time?
And especially with no Bradley Beal, you thought you could cruise your way to a win and no panic attacks or anything like that. But yet again,
like Indy without Sabonis and Brogdon. Look, load up on the Sixers -6. Load up on them.
TJ Warren's like,
TJ Warren comes in.
I'll take that -6.
San Antonio, no Aldridge. That's one guy they were missing too. So they face teams missing key pieces. Key pieces through this early on bubble here. So to be possibly 1-2 after it would be a big time panic early on here. To be 2-1, you have issues, but you're still winning basketball games, so you can deal with some of the issues and try to correct some of them. because you are winning games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to get some more.
TJ Warren, as Youssef just brought up, he's averaging a cool 39.6 through the bubble.
Yeah, he has. And it's not like he put up the 53, right, Greg? He put up the 53 against you guys and came out and the next night and put up 6, right? Came out the next night and put up 32. So
it's like 34 and 32. Like,
the dude's been on fire lately. The dude's just been stroking and he can't miss. And it's been crazy because you would have thought that TJ Warren is throwing up these numbers for the Pacers when they have Oladipo and the other guys over there. So
I mean, I don't know how to say this, but it's almost like Kobe reincarnated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. It's like a Mamba. Like it's just like everything I shoot, I'm not missing.
Yeah. Like the other night, what was it? Yesterday, he was 13 of 17 from the field. Like that's good shooting too.
Yeah, it is very good.
I'll tell you another reason why this bubble's got a lot of scoring. One, I mean, the aggressiveness right early on here defensively hasn't really been there from teams. But I also think it's easier to shoot in a closed environment too. Yeah. It's also easier to make baskets in an environment.
No fans having you, right? You don't hear nothing.
Yeah. Like hearing or booing. Like one way or the other, something's going on. I think it doesn't get, you know what I mean? It changes things. Now these guys are in like closed environments. Like freaking
it's like the practice gym. Yep.
The summit in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the Jumpman gym. It's like the Jumpman gym.
And just
the pro-am runs.
Yeah, everybody goes there and drops 90. You know what I mean? Like every player in the pickup games there dropped 90. Like there's guys who aren't even in the league anymore. And you're like, oh my God, look at Beasley. 75 against a bunch of pros today. That's what you get. It's what we're in for. Keith Hernandez says Booker and the Suns are 3-0. Probably the biggest surprise of the bubble.
Yeah. And they're fighting. They're fighting to get that number 9 spot because I know the way it is now with the seeding. I don't know if it's for the Eastern Conference as well because they have less teams. But I know for the West that if the 9th seed is 4 games or lower, like in that 4-game tier, they can play that play-in game for the 8th seed.
I saw that today, so I wasn't aware of that rule, and that's really.
No, I don't know if it's
because they brought it up for the. They brought it up for the East too because Washington is right now. They're like 7 games back or like 5 games of Orlando in the 8th seed. So
So if
Washington has something to play for essentially.
Yeah. So if Washington keeps on winning games and gets 4 lower in that 8th seed, they play in that play-in game for the 8th spot to start the playoffs, and the same thing for the Western Conference as well too.
Interesting.
So there's like 3 or 4 teams right now in the West that are just they're like 2 games or a half a game out of the 8th spot that are just lingering right there. I think it's like Portland, the Spurs. Obviously Memphis has the 8th spot, but I don't know if that's changed yet because they haven't won a game yet.
I was looking at this cat's profile picture here on the bottom on YouTube, little Smokey. Miami Heat is killing the Sixers in the playoffs. But you don't ever judge a book by the cover. But on this cover, I can tell he's from Miami or from that area. Just the pose on the car or wants to be from Miami. One of the two. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you anything. All I'm here to tell you is killing the Sixers in the playoffs. I think killing's not the word. You want to say, they're gonna beat the Sixers, okay, but killing us. I mean, I grow up, Peter Pan. I mean, they're not killing nobody. Okay, they're not killing anybody. They're not sweeping us. Slow down,
no,
please. That's killing. What are they arguing about?
Plus, we might not even play them.
I'm trying to get some more in the comments here.
Yeah.
Prism says to think TJ Warren would trade for cap space to sign Ricky Rubio.
He was trading for cash.
Cash, yep, straight up cash.
Bring me my money. Bring me my money. I saw that the other day.
I love that.
Bring me my money.
You want cash or TJ Warren? Bring me my money.
I love that video, man. I love it.
Malcolm, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Can we just get out of the bubble first? I'm not Mr. Brett Brown anymore, but can we just get out of the bubble first? I mean, you guys are looking for coaches. I know we haven't played the best basketball early on, but we're 2-1 early on in the bubble here. Joel looks great. What the hell are we doing? Can we
just 3 today?
Bench out of 3. I mean, Malachi, the world's changing right in front of our eyes.
I guess he didn't make it because nobody won money, right? I guess he didn't make it because he didn't get any money. Nobody got money, right? So I guess
he didn't make it yet. He shot it though. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
It is encouraging. I don't disagree with you with fire Brett, Malachi, but I just, I'm just not there.
You gotta wait for the bubble.
I'll be there right after the bubble.
We gotta see it through. You gotta see it through. Yep. One way or the other, we gotta see it through.
Don Michael Porter Jr. making everybody pay for not.
I was gonna bring him up. He's lighting it up right now.
Yes, he has.
And you're right, Don. I mean, I know there was a lot of concern over him because of the injury, and it was a back injury especially. But he was great at Missouri when he was healthy, and then you just didn't know if it was going to ever pan out. And he is making everybody pay. You're absolutely right.
Well, I think we all knew that was going to happen if he was healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. 4-1 either team. So you're just a Sixers hater. I don't know why you would think they'd be 4-1 series. On teams that both teams play each other tough on both ends. So, that's why I don't agree. But that's fine. To each your own tonight, obviously. I mean, we have Gabe Kapler defense teams in here. Tonight, I'm already gone. I'm already lost. I thought they already played. Did they already play?
Not yet. We got the Rockets tomorrow night. We got a back-to-back. We got smacked by the Thunder tonight. They didn't look too good.
Smacked by the Rockets.
Yeah, we're probably.
If there's anybody who gets more calls than LeBron, it's James.
It's James Harden. I mean, it's ridiculous. You could be 50 feet away from that dude and still get a foul called on it. It's crazy how many fouls he gets called on. It's insane.
Little Smoky Miami Marlins are in first place.
Haven't played in 2 weeks.
Yep. Still there by win percentage. Malachi says MPJ said it when he was drafted so late. I'm the best player in this draft.
Yeah. And he would have went top 3 if he never had the back injury.
Yeah, of course. I think it scared a lot of people off. But,
yeah,
it is what it is. Sometimes you get burned by that. Sometimes it ends up being a great pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think you can necessarily say, teams passed on him because that's a huge risk. You know what I mean? With that pick, you got to, you have a team like the Nuggets who were able to take that risk because they need to take that risk out there in the Western Conference, right? You need that type of, to Prism's point, you need that potentially Kevin Durant type of performer.
Oh, especially in the West.
Pick in 17 or 18, wherever he went, right? At that point, you're like, all right, whatever. Let's give this thing a chance.
You can't make that pick inside the lottery sometimes. When you think you have a major concern of a problem health-wise down the road. You know what I mean? In any stretch.
At that time, the Nuggets were coming into their own because they still had Jokic, they still had Jamal Murray, they had Malik Beasley that was putting up numbers for them too. So it was almost like, we could get this guy and just redshirt him for how many, for the year and just let him build back up. And then obviously you're seeing what he is right now.
Yeah, he was picked 14th, and that was the Ben Simmons draft. So obviously the Sixers have the number 1 pick. They're not redoing that. You know what I mean?
No.
I like Michael Porter Jr., but you're not doing that.
No. Sorry. Good player.
No, I'm sorry. Ben was 2016. They freaking
yeah, Michael Porter Jr. would have been, I think, 18, if I'm not mistaken.
He was the 18 draft. For whatever reason, they put Ben, when I searched Google, they put Ben right up with it. Like, why would you do that, idiots?
Will Smith says, Marlins just the Marlins just swept Baltimore. Give us credit. Two 17 UAAU teams playing. Give you credit. Hey, you still got to win the games, brother. And I don't got much to say because you own our asses. You know what I mean? I've been the first to say the Marlins own the Phillies. So, I'm just telling you that he don't own our ass, so slow down, right? Boston don't own our ass. They used to, but slow down. That's it. That's all I mean to him. Lord said, can we talk about Uncle Al getting 2 points? I get he did good things, but for $100 million, it's defeating. It's deflating about his future with this team. Oh, big time deflating. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely, Lord. Absolutely.
This guy, Lord, I'm a nervous wreck thinking about the future, right? I don't even want this year to end with him because I'm worried about how old he's going to be next year.
$100 million tied up into him for a guy that's coming off the bench, and it seems like he can't. I don't know. And I told you, he's one of the guys that got to step up. And if he's only putting up 2 points for the rest of the time, I mean, that's going to be tough when playoff time comes. That's tough.
Well, I don't know if he's going to average 2 points, you jackass.
Hey, you never know. You never know. It's the Sixers. Okay?
What are you guys, 1-3? Inside the bubble?
We're 2-2. We're 2-2.
Feels like 1-3. Feels like 1-3.
Hey, man. You know what? We clinched the number 1 seed, 2 nights ago, right? We come out tonight, and it's like, you know what? We don't even care anymore. I mean,
you care. Why even show up to the bubble? LeBron should have said, we're going to stay back in our rooms tonight.
That's what I said. Why even show up tonight, man? Jeez. It was horrendous. Couldn't hit anything. Danny Green just hitting backboards. Deion Waiters thinking he's all by himself. It just got ugly towards the half.
That's Deion Waiters, bro. That's Deion Waiters.
You probably beat us without Simmons. You probably beat us without Embiid once. Grow up, okay? It's not like you beat us with all our guys. I'll take you on any time with all our guys. Grow up, all right? Sorry, what were you guys saying? I just can't. I see things in that. I gotta go.
No, I was just gonna say that Michael Porter. Obviously, we already said 2018. That was the wonderful Mikal Bridges at 10 pick, which traded for Zaire at 16.
You redoing that?
Michael Porter was drafted at 14. That'd be pretty nice right now as a big 4.
Well, you never factored in the peanut allergy risk, and you know that seemed to be the difference maker. First off, I wouldn't have taken. I wasn't. Anybody was like big on Zaire Smith. I mean, his skill set in college wasn't a guy who was going to come in and drop you 25 and 9 ever. So I mean, oh my God, I'm watching Al fall on the floor. $100 more million. How
are you guys feeling about Ben though? With the whole, I know injury aside, but last 2 games, 8 points. That's it. It seems like he isn't. I mean, obviously in the San Antonio game, he fouled out. Late in the game, that boneheaded foul on Patty Mills.
I don't know, but I think a little bit. It's just finding yourself again in a different role and to adjust to it a little bit. I do like that he shot the 3 tonight, even though he missed it. I would like for him to do it against teams that aren't the Wizards or Chinese 2K. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'd be a big fan of that. But besides that, I think part of it, and this isn't excuse driven at all. I think this is just part of being factual. Now, it is just basketball, go play. But I think part of it is like, when you do get into the half court set, I think he's just got to continue to get more comfortable. I hate using that word anymore, but I mean, he's got to. He's got to. This is a big playoff for him. So I don't give a shit. So you got better figure it out before the dance starts. You know what I mean? That's all my point is. I'm not going to, I'm here to crush after this bubble. So the bubble better go as expected. And that's for everybody. Brett as well, as we know. And maybe not Joe, because I love him. But
I would, as of right now, I exclude Joe because it seems like he's been the only one that's actually been putting in the work, inside the bubble so far. He's been showing up, right? You don't have to worry about Joe. He's giving you 30 and 13 every single night. Just the other guys around him that just haven't been showing up lately.
Yeah, I mean, Tobias has played well at times. Tobias has played well at times.
With the hair, he's a better player. With the hair, he's a better player.
With the Ben thing, I mean, has he looked lost a little bit? Yeah, but we won, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's kind of all that matters, right? He played well with the first game, and we lost. And I'm not saying that was on him, but you know what I mean? It's just like you sit there, and you're like, all right, would I like Ben to play well? No doubt about it. Would I like him to be more comfortable? Sure. But, yeah, I mean, he's used to for the last 3 years have had the ball in his hands 90% of the time. Now he's just got to transition a little bit off of it. So I think once he gets more comfortable, I'm sure he'll miss the next game, whenever that is, just because of I know he's day-to-day, so I'm sure they'll probably just sit him for one game just to make sure. But, yeah, no, I'm okay with it. He's still learning something new a little bit.
Well, I mean, I got no problem answering this, Lord. Question for the panel. Seriously, where and what could we get for Al? Like, who would you try and get? Honestly, look, I don't know. You got to match money, so I got to think on another. I got to think on more slop.
That's a 34-year-old dude with $100 million tied to him.
So I got to find somebody that's willing to take slop to get rid of slop. Yeah. I don't know how that works. I almost had to find the dumbest general manager in professional basketball. So I almost had to find the Matt Klintak of the NBA. I don't know where he is.
Or someone that just gave out a recently bad contract. I look at maybe like, and I'm not saying this is anything factual, but like you look at Sacramento with like a Buddy Hield type of guy who they just gave a buttload of money to, and I don't know if they're really sold on him. You know what I mean? They kind of paid him just because they kind of had to, right? Yeah,
why would you be sold on this guy now? You know what I mean? Like, why would you trade Buddy for him?
Fair. You're absolutely fair. Absolutely. Just maybe they would just need a veteran. Maybe they want a veteran big versus a shooter. With De'Aaron Fox and their backcourt. You know what I mean?
I just can't straight face seeing anybody that would want him. Like, honestly,
I don't disagree with you.
Besides the G League, you know what I mean? Like, who else would want him?
Lord gave me a little. Lord gave me a little homework. We're gonna pull up the trade machine, see what we can do.
It's gonna be tough to move him if everything does go south for the Sixers in the playoffs and stuff like that, and you are trying to move him and he doesn't fit like that. It's gonna be tough to move Al Horford.
I don't even think that's even matters, Ralphie. I don't think South in the playoffs even has any bearing on wanting to get rid of him or not wanting to get rid of him, because at the end of the day, you really want to be tied to all that money for a guy who's just going to get older and older and older. Like I'm saying,
if you guys do go to the finals, you could also just look at it to where maybe since we got here, we give it another run. You know what I mean? Why would you if you got to the finals this year, right? You got to the finals in the bubble with Al Horford coming off the bench and everything, is all good. Why would you want to split that up if you just got to the finals? Why not just run it back?
Well, because if he ages as much as he did this year, you know what I mean? Like, I always think I'll go to the finals. Listen, he can contribute in a lot of other ways, right? Like, I just saw him make a basket. I guess that was his basket tonight. So that's cute. But regardless, he can contribute in other ways. Like, he can play good defense. But even now, watching him, here he goes with the three again, way off, right? So the legs still don't look where they looked in Boston, even close to it. It's just we got Elton Brand. You know what I mean? That's what we got.
It's looking like it, right?
It literally feels like Elton Brand signed himself, and that's. I mean, it's almost crazy. I mean, I feel like I've never seen a guy age so much so quick. This was a guy that was big time productive just last year for the Boston Celtics. Big time.
A guy that was lights out for Boston for all those years, right? And then you think you would get the same thing when he comes to Philadelphia, and it hasn't been the same. It's not been the same. It's been on a roller coaster all year long.
Listen, it hasn't even been close to the same thing. And the problem lies that people want to blame it on him playing with Joe. No, it used to be easier to play with fucking Joe. Are you kidding me? Get a clue. All right? It's not about playing with Joe. It's about a guy getting old quick. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
totally agree.
You can get blown up all they want, prison, but the problem that lies at, what the hell they want to give you Eric Gordon for? And then, hold on, Eric Gordon and Robert Covington for Horford and Pitt. I don't see why would they want to do that.
We'll take it.
I mean, listen, I hate Robert Covington, but I guess I would take it. But I'll take it more for Gordon.
I got a trade that works.
Yeah, I'm sure it works for us. Go ahead.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. The other team wouldn't do it, but it works money wise. Horford for Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins is that is. So
Yeah,
This again.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, great. They're not doing that. I mean, they're not.
right.
Gonna,
No, I know, absolutely.
now they're even trying to get older. Like, hey, look at us.
Yeah. But the money matches.
All they're missing is a
Money
big.
match, yeah.
What the hell? I mean, I guess that jackass would be interested in
Yeah,
Horford.
but the thing is, though, Tommy, why would the Rockets do that when they just traded away a 25-year-old Clint Capella this season?
They could have signed him for
They already
half
had
that.
a big. They already had a big in their organization on their team, and Clint Capella, and they traded him away to
I agree
the
with you.
Hawks.
They want to be the
Why
smallest
would they
lineup of all time. So I mean,
Yeah, why would they do that for Al Horford? You should have just cut Capella at that point.
the only thing you would say is he can stretch it
Yeah,
and play around the perimeter a little bit, but at the end of the day, he can't. We're watching that. We watched that all year.
Yeah.
He can't anymore.
Can't do that anymore.
So
Nah.
if Al Horford was like, if it was Al Horford stroking a couple of threes for Boston once in a while, then maybe I'll wrap my head around somebody out there wanting them, right? But it's what have you done for me lately, Lake? And everybody's watching it and probably saying the same thing as we're saying, that they have a basketball IQ and they're saying, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
The phone on us. I mean, it's not even getting past the secretary.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, we're offered Al quick.
Yeah.
You
guys
talking about Al quick.
They don't even get the full hour out. It's just the A.
Yeah.
We're looking
They don't even get to the picks. They don't even get to the picks.
No, we're looking to trade.
Yep. Go on.
We were going to say Alec Burks.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Campo, Buddy Hield, Sixers need Buddy. Yeah, I mean that's great, but who the hell? How the hell you get them?
And
You know what I mean?
actually, after looking at it, Buddy's only making $5 million. I thought his contract was a lot more than that.
Yeah, the monies don't match up. It doesn't make
That's
sense.
Didn't he get a contract extension early in the
I thought he did too. Yeah.
No, that's
So
trying to move them.
So it might kick in after this year, the new contract.
No. Yeah. Here it is. It's
'Cause that's the same thing. Because that's the same thing with Ben. Ben's still in his rookie deal, but after this year,
it starts 2021. You're right, Ralph. Yeah.
It turns into his new contract.
To where then the money does make sense.
Yeah.
Lord, it's day to day, brother. It's okay. So it's good news. It's day to day. So he'll be fine in terms of
Yeah,
Ben.
the MRI came back clean according to Shams. So
Which is good for the Sixers.
Which is good.
Which is really good.
he definitely didn't look good. He definitely didn't look good leaving the locker room afterwards when they showed him,
I missed that. I missed that.
He was walking out. It was really ginger, and that's when I kind of got like a little nervous.
Yeah.
And then thank God the MRI came back already.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tom.
No. Everything's right there. You're right. I mean, so it should come back quicker. You don't wait on everything. Everything's in play inside the bubble. So you're golden. But no, I didn't see the injury. And then when I saw what we were talking about, I texted Greg and I said, "What the hell happened? When did he get hurt? Got hurt?"
Yeah, it was so weird. Like he went to go for a shot, and I guess his knee just didn't agree where it was.
It actually happened right before he grabbed the rebound, and I guess maybe came down a little awkward. And then you're right, he dribbled out to the corner. Went to actually look like he was going to shoot, but he actually threw it into, I think it was Toby. And then there was a foul. And as soon as he landed, he picked it up.
Yeah.
He picked it up right away, and he started walking off the floor because he knew.
Malachi's extension. It's an extension for next year for Buddy Hield.
Yeah. Thanks, Malachi.
And then he said, straight out of the Knicks. We all know they stupid enough. They were until they hired Leon Rose, right? They were until Leon Rose.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're dumb enough, but I still believe their owner's dumb enough.
Hey, you want a superstar? He's right here, Dolan.
Yeah. You're KD.
Yeah, you're KD. Right? The New York Knicks, man. They went out and signed 3 power forwards, and they all stink. Good old Taj Gibson, right? Jesus.
Keith said, first things first, get rid of Brett. And then he says, Tom, go off. No, I'm not. I mean, I don't disagree with it. I'm not ready to make my final overall, decision until just after the bubble. That's it. You know what I mean? He almost got a second chance, and you see how this team fares moving forward. And then you really have a decision to make if they do get further than people think. That's how I feel about it. So,
no, he's not happening. It's not happening in the bubble. You're not bringing someone into the bubble in such a short, truncated type of scenario to take over the team.
That's why I laugh at it right now.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And I'm like, well, dude, these teams are all bubbled off. You think Mark Jackson's coming in the bubble? What's wrong with you guys?
They were getting Jay Wright out of the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Jay Wright's coming down. You know what? I'm gonna go bubble off for a month.
Here you go. Al Horford, and Zaire Smith for John Wall.
Oh my God! We won't talk about a bad contract, right? Jesus, that contract. That's a handful.
That's why you got to give up Zaire too to make it work.
What do you mean by giving up Zaire, though?
Well, I'm just saying, including him in the trade. It's not just a 1-for-1 type of scenario.
Yeah, no, I understand. This is you didn't give up. It's not a give up.
You're right. It's not giving up anything.
No, it's like the airlines handing you peanuts on the plane. They're not giving up anything. I'm sorry. Too soon on the peanut? I didn't mean it that direction. I didn't mean to go there.
Oh, I didn't get to that.
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. Oh.
Finish.
Good times. Good times. Should have fired him out. I should have fired Brett March 20th. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with you the way the way they were playing. I can't. I mean,
yeah.
The only argument you had is you were missing like this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, but there's no excuse. Right. Still weren't playing well. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can go off of. If you're a really good coach, you figure it out. So excuses don't go.
I know you guys before the whole season gets paused and stuff like that. You guys weren't really good, high on the Sixers at that point, March 20th. So,
high on the Sixers, I was literally there was two guys you could keep on this roster moving forward. And you could have got rid of everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when March 20th was around, you guys were ready to get rid of everybody. So
everybody was available, but
Ben was hurt though, wasn't playing in the postseason, most likely, right?
Yeah,
and it was all downhill.
I think that was the same night or it might have been the week before where you guys lost to Cleveland in Cleveland that night when you guys got
probably.
Yeah, demolished in Cleveland.
I feel like that was a night because what I really would have did is I would have traded Tobias Harris for freaking like
Andrew Wiggins.
No, not even that good. Like not even that good. Like Jeremy Grant. You know what I mean? Like I just would have cleaned house. I'm going back to the early on days.
Yeah, bring the prospect guys back.
I would have just freaking straight up traded Tobias, even though the money doesn't work for Nerlens. Just say, fuck this shit. We're going back. Yeah. We're going back. Is Okafor's Jaleel? Al for Jaleel.
New Orleans. Is he still? He's still in New Orleans.
Yes,
right?
I know where he is. I'm just saying, Al for Jaleel.
Let's go.
Straight up.
I'm right with you. It's time for the ring, but I just think young basketball teams I just think they're a year away. Is that fair? But I still think they can go to one. But again, you just don't know. They can surprise us. The kid like Ben, Tobias, Joe can play that well where they surprise us. Sure. Do I see that? Do I see winning the finals? No. Could I see going to it? Yeah. I really see though like Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Because the way the Sixers like working away. It's like that's how we would work in the Brett Brown situation, where now we're in like big time limbo. What do they do? What do they do? What do they do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially now that you're in a bubble, everything's
for Kevin Love.
What about what? Huh?
Horford for Kevin Love.
What are you thinking, Ralph? You think it's hard?
I mean, how old is Kevin Love? What, 30, 32, 33? He's up there. He's almost the same age as Horford. I think so.
I feel like there's a little bit more mileage in the tank.
In Kevin Love?
Yeah, that's not saying a lot, but I'm just,
Yeah.
Kevin Love's been dangled out there for, and he's even been rumored to the Sixers for a while. You know what I mean? Every trade, go get Kevin Love. So, I mean, the money almost works identical, right? It just gives you another style of power forward, right? Maybe it gives you the same style. It actually gives you the same style. Kevin wants to be on the outside too.
Yeah, but there's a difference though. He can hit him.
Right.
Oh, there's a big and that's the big difference between him and Al is that you could put you can just stash Kevin Love in the corner, almost like what Cleveland did for the 4 years or 5 years he's been there. They just stash him in the corner and he hits them, right? Unlike Al, where you can't really do that with Al. He's got to be either on the post or in a pick and roll situation.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Al anymore. What you can do.
It's going to be very interesting to see what Brett Brown does going in the future and down the line with these. What you guys got? 6 more games left till the playoffs start, right?
5 because we're 3-2-1, so we got 5, 8, right? That's math, right? Ralph, you're saying 6. Hey, you got 6 games. You played 3 already.
Well, you never know. You might be playing in the playing game down in the 8th seed. So you get the 9 right there.
Yeah, right. Play the seed.
Wait, what would happen? What are you saying?
I said you get the 9 from doing the playing game on the 8th seed if you fall all the way down to the 8th seed.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, there's no shot of that.
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah, I don't have any time I wouldn't have any time for that. That's
oh man.
GMP Campo says Al for Love would be great for us. Yeah, I mean, I think it would. Again, similar type players. Al's better defensively, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, you get a guy who, at this point in their career, stretches it better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And for some reason, Kevin Love to the Sixers has been rumored a lot recently. Not necessarily, this year, but like early before the trade deadline, it was, let's go out and get Kevin Love, and last year, during the offseason as well, I heard it a couple times.
Like, if you would have told me last year Love or Horford, I mean, I still would have taken Love probably, but it would have been a lot closer. Now it's like not.
Sure.
Now it's like easy. Like, if Cleveland really trying to do that, like, sure. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. So, I mean,
it's funny when you put the trades through, ESPN gives their, plus minus wins. It was +1 for the Sixers, getting a win over with Kevin Love. The Cleveland Cavaliers was -20.
Wow. Really? Holy.
They're
taking off 20 wins.
Well, first off,
Jesus.
are they even winning 20 anyway? And then second off, like, let's calm down because now we're only winning 1 more. So then that's all off base anyway. If they're -20 by losing a guy, then we should be at least +5 by gaining them. And that's like 101 talk. That's 101. I mean, that's easy. I'm being generous to them by only giving us 5 when you're giving a team 20 losses for taking them away. I mean, my God, I know Horford's been a shell of himself, but like, let's not act like Kevin Love is like freaking MJ. Christ. Who are you trading, LeBron? I mean, calm down.
Clyde Drexler over here.
Why don't we win 20 games a year?
Yeah.
So
oh, man.
They win 28, so we're rather winning 8. Get a clue. ESPN, typical bullshit. Yes, Keith, big time stretch. There isn't the right price for me right now.
No, I completely agree.
Youssef, I think it's a lock for the Sixers to play Miami. Miami could stay at 4 or jump up to 3. Philly could stay at 6 or jump to 5.
Yeah, Boston finally got a win tonight. So they beat the Nets. I know they haven't gotten a win yet, except for tonight. So yeah, that could happen. Miami could jump Boston in the standings, and you guys play them in the first round.
Well, I
Uncle
know we
Sweep
talked
chimes
about.
in.
What'd
He's
you say?
like, "I'd take Love." Uncle Sweep chimes in. He goes, "I'd take Love over Horford 375 days a year."
Oh, I mean, shit, he ain't wrong. He ain't close to wrong. You know, and that's the crazy thing of it. Like, you know, when you believe it that much, like, why would Cleveland do it? But
Yeah, absolutely.
It's still fun to talk about. But I hate talking about any of this kind of stuff though after dubs. You know what I mean? I feel dirty.
Yeah.
You feel dirty. You know, we're talking about coaches can talk. You know, we're talking about a lot of stuff. You know, that are when we're in the bubble. So like, stuff definitely ain't being done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, like, we're not in the bubble, and we're and trade deadline didn't pay. It's like we are 2-1 in the bubble, like not 1-2. I mean, I'm not crowning us being 2-1. You know, we should be 3-0. But
with San Antonio and the Wizards as our two.
Yeah, I'm not. This isn't Crown City by any stretch, but
you got to play and who they put in front of you.
Yeah, and they played better. So I gotta keep in mind that their defense, even though it's the Wizards, everybody's been getting up over 100 in the bub. So to hold somebody under 100 in the NBA is a win. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? I don't care because you could easily give it up 110 to them tonight, right? And then we're a different conversation. Then we're a conversation Crush City, and I'm leading the pack, right?
Yeah.
But we're more on a conversation like, okay, well, we're not here to crown them. We're here to crown them, but like, earlier on, like, Miami ain't beating them 4-1 in the series. Calm down. Like, you know what I mean? You want to tell me they beat them, even if they beat them 4-2, I'll buy into it. But, like, 4-1, grow up. Too talented of a roster, in my opinion, to get their doors blown off early on.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they're a true, 6 seed. I never even thought they would be a true 5 seed. I think everybody straight face would have said they had them 1 through 4 in some fashion before this season started. And when healthy, they probably have them around there as well, even though they were inconsistent. I think people would still say minimum 4, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody would say they had them no lower than 4, right? Even with all the injuries at the end of the season, you probably would have penciled them in at 4 at the lowest.
Yeah, you're right. Lord says, speaking of the Nets losing, that's the same team that beat the Bucks. Is it me, or should the Bucks not be concerned with their losses? And I think if you circled everyone but the Phoenix Suns, there isn't a team in this mix right now that's like, we're ready to go. We've looked that good where we're ready to go.
Yeah. Especially for the top teams in the league. Right?
Yeah. Nobody's come out and been like, this is our bubble.
And in reality, not to take anything away from, the Nets in that Bucks game, but like, what are the Bucks playing for, right? They're just playing for fitness at this point. You know what I mean? They're just playing to get the number 1 seed's theirs. It's not like they can lose that, right? So it's, what are they truly playing for? Now, should they have ever lost to the Nets? No, but it's just what it is.
I'm just making a point that the Sixers really have nothing to play for either right now.
Well, they could have gotten up. You know what I mean? They could have gone up.
Okay. I mean,
you know what I mean?
But if they can't go up after 3 games, and their chances of going up anyway were slim.
Yeah.
So my point is like they're what are they playing for? Nobody's really playing for anything.
I think the Sixers were. Go ahead.
No, you said you think the Sixers are what?
I think the Sixers were playing for more continuity and getting everybody back on the same page because of the way things ended. Like Ben being hurt.
There's a basketball team in the country that comes into the bubble after 100 days off that's not looking to build a continuity again.
Agreed.
And I think you see that a little bit too. So I think you've seen that with every club but the Phoenix Suns, and I think that's why you can say the Phoenix Suns are 3-0 because there's a lot of teams without continuity right now because it takes a minute again just to get the legs back going, and then two, building the stamina. And I think you'll see better defense as this continues because the stamina will start becoming there for more and more teams, which is a real thing. Like the running up and down the court's a real thing in terms of in shape. We talk about you can run on a treadmill all you want. Game shape's a different shape. So I think that's also something that players are dealing with a little bit as well on why you've seen some inconsistency, why you've seen some upsets, why you've seen lack of defense. And then also, it's different. So that also takes some getting used to, right? But I do believe playoff time we will see better defense. And the team that wants to be Pomsy is the team that's going to come out of this.
Yeah, no, I think so. 18 and a half dogs the Nets were when they beat the Bucks.
Yeah, that's
why would anyone lay the 18 though? Like regardless of who's playing, why would you lay 18 in this bubble scenario?
I just realized Sweep said to me earlier, you would sign yourself, no doubt, in terms of like, I guess in terms of saying Elton signed Elton.
Yeah.
I would absolutely sign my energy to a club. I'm not saying anything about town. I'll bring my competitive energy to a ball club any day. Because I feel like we have a real, I'm almost like a Patrick Beverly type. You know what I mean? Want to get up in you. Want to make you feel uncomfortable. Probably going to say some things.
Yeah, I was going to say, going to be chirping all night.
Yep.
Well, you guys had that in TJ McConnell, and you let him walk.
True.
I love it.
True. Looked better than what we had on the floor the other night. But that was, night one. And I think Lord's saying about like just the whole bubble thing and just, nobody's looked good, really. Like nobody's been lights out and chemistry for all and chemistry for all. I mean, and that's really where you're at right now. I mean, what do we say about that? What do we say?
The other thing in Phoenix's, back pocket and Phoenix's defense is they're all a bunch of young kids. Yeah. They're potentially used to playing in almost a closed environment, with different AAU teams. So, like, the continuity isn't really needed there, right? I mean, so
nobody's waking up in Phoenix saying, "Let's go to a Suns game tonight," huh?
Nobody's doing that. I thought real quick, I thought the Raptors were 2-1.
No, they're 3-0. They haven't lost yet.
Okay, so they haven't
lost either.
No.
Okay, I thought they were 2-1. So that's my bad.
You keep it down over there. You keep it down, Yusef.
Yeah, don't bring facts.
Raptors.
Don't bring
Stop
facts.
It.
But no, I mean, okay. So I mean, that's a team that's where they left off. But again, we're also not in playoff basketball yet. I just gotta believe that there's going to be the energy is going to ramp up around the league. He said 6th seed is the worst thing that could possibly happen to the Sixers. 5th or 4th is the absolute necessary. But yeah, I mean, before it was out of the question. Coming in
out.
So at least I thought it was coming into this. Maybe just 6 was the lowest we could go. Maybe that's what it was. But
we are.
Yeah, the lowest. Yeah, you guys.
I think we're a game behind. We're a game behind Indy. We're 2 games behind Miami, and we're 4 games behind Boston at 3. So
yeah, there's no. Yeah, it's 6. It's 6 or higher for you guys. Insane.
Yeah, 4 or 5 is probably the easiest. But again, we just, you know what I mean? Like, you had a chance to do something because the Pacers are right in front of you.
Yeah.
And, you had a chance to make up a game potentially. But hopefully maybe we're 2-1. Maybe they don't play as well down the stretch and we're able to get that game back. Who knows? I agree, though. I would rather be a 4 or 5 than a 6. But in a playoff scenario, I'm not scared at this point of anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. Yeah, I mean, I would say concerned, sure. Scared, no. You know what I mean? If that's fair.
Yep.
What's somebody saying? Prism Yusuf, we need to run the NFL Don in terms of they're trying to bubble off. They're talking about stadiums in Texas. They got it all figured out in here. Hey, Furkan, if you can't make free throws, go sit down. You know what I mean? You have no right playing in the game. Okay? If you can't make free throws, what do you do? What do you bring to the table? You shouldn't have missed from the fucking line. Sorry, I got to get that out. Shouldn't have missed from the line. There you go. Back. Should have missed from the line. Ever. And Yusuf, I agree. The NFL needs a bubble. You know, they wanted to do it like NHL and NBA where everything looks to be, you know, sail ahead. Sail straight ahead because they haven't had any issues as of right now. So good work out of them.
Phoenix is 2.5 games out of that 9 spot.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're coming.
Or no, they're a game and a half out of the 9 spot. They're 2.5 out of the 8 spot.
Yeah. Yep.
Right there.
That's an interesting race right there.
Palterra.
Memphis, Portland. Go ahead.
No, real quick, and then go ahead. Palterra, is this real life? Like, what are we doing? We're ready for the draft? We're talking draft right now? My God, we just got sports back. We're already waiting for things that aren't sports.
I can't even buy into the NBA draft because what's the college look like?
I can't. We don't have enough time on the program tonight for that.
No, I know.
So I have no idea. Go ahead. So they got to go.
No, I'm just saying Memphis, Portland, San Antonio, New Orleans, Phoenix, and even the Kings are within 3 games of the 8 seed.
Yeah. The Grizzlies are out in 3. They can't win a game.
Well, guys, why do you think they all came to the bub? You know what I mean? They all came because they had a shot.
Yeah. I think that's what the NBA did too. They looked at the teams that actually have a chance to get into the playoffs, and that's why there's more teams in the West than there are in the East for the 8th spot.
Well, yeah, because Charlotte backed out. Charlotte didn't come. They are actually technically a half game ahead of the Wizards, but they backed out, so that puts the Wizards right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don.
But no, you're absolutely right.
Shut the hell up, Don. Shut up.
You just had the number 2 pick. You want it again?
A bunch of crumbs. GMP Campo, what team scares you the most?
The Lakers.
Past your bedtime, Ralph.
Yeah.
I know. It's 12 o'clock.
Your bed's right there. Roll deep. Roll back. Roll back and just tilt it.
Roll back and spin so falls right over.
Yeah. You see that window back there?
Woo! Just make sure we're still live so we can catch that and then clip it.
Clip it. Gotta do it for the views.
Gotta go viral. Team scares me the most, like out of every team in the Eastern Conference. Then it'll probably be honestly, in a weird way, I'd probably say Toronto.
That's where I'm going.
His owner
because they seem to give Joe fits between Gasol and Ibaka. They give Joe fits, and that's it for me.
Yeah, they do all the time. All the time they give him fits. It's not like once in a while. I mean, Joe most of the time still. I mean, he's never scored 0 besides Toronto. So that's the scariest team to me when my star has scored 0 versus them, and at some point in his career, that still haunts me. It's still like in the back of my head, like.
And it wasn't a game that he was like playing like 10 minutes. Like he played a full game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, we're just working him back. We're just getting him in the game. No. He played.
Yeah, this wasn't a 1 rotation stint here. This was a sit down and eat. This was a buffet with no food. You know what I mean?
This is a buffet, and he walked up and everything was empty.
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A was empty. Everything was empty.
But it was a sit down. It was a sit down. It wasn't a drive through. Freaking unbelievable. How am I not scared of them? And they're not even as good. And I'm still scared of them because somehow they're just as good.
Yeah.
I just can't make it up because Siakam then took another step.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Sweeps. I think you did hear it right. This playing game, 8-9. I thought I heard it right too, but I was still like, I never thought I heard of it. Yusuf, can you get off your knees for him, please? I know he's I just can't keep you telling me how good of a coach he is because you think that 42. Go watch the replay again. All right, that shot should never went in. Is this real life? That shot hit the freaking front of the rim on where he shot it. That shouldn't go in.
He might have hit the front of the rim twice on. To be honest,
No, but
it bounced 7 times.
If you re-looking at the replay, that shit's short. That's short. It ain't good. It's short. Man, what would some yelling and screaming would have done? I don't know. Where did that game go? We're in the bubble. That don't go into the bubble. That ain't going in the bubble.
No.
I don't know. He might make that from the freaking behind the plexiglass in the bubble. You know what I mean? Because everybody's making everything in the bubble. He might be on the plexiglass with freaking zoom off, burying that on Abanavi's lap.
Hold on, Olive. We're coming in for a landing.
Yep. Kawhi's coming on your lap and the plexi. We're going to need you guys to bubble for 3 weeks before you leave. Shut up about coaches. Yeah, Prism, he is in better shape, but I can't sit here and say I watched a lot of Raptors early on in the bubble, but is he as physical? Because that's the difference, Mick. If you can't get physical with Joe, it takes the fits away.
We hope, right?
Yeah, like if you look different.
I think the advantage Gasol had was he was able to wear on Joe, right? By bodying him up, just the mass of the two of them going at each other was wearing Joe down. Does that still happen? You're right, Tom. With being in better shape, I hope not. I hope it allows Joe to then dominate more, but I don't know. Gasol's a crafty veteran who's been in this league 700 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's insane. Don't forget. I think he got traded for his brother too.
Think about it, though.
I think they swapped.
Think about that.
I was trying to trade for him last year to back up Joe in the Al Horford mode, so we just didn't have to face him.
Yeah. True.
Ain't that the truth, though? No, but like, what happens if Just think of it, like somebody Greg. I mean, you're thicker than me, so if we're out, we're balling around, and you're always just bodying me.
Don't bring that up on air, Brad.
That not in the good thick. Okay, we ain't talking lower half. We ain't talking.
I'm not talking lower half either. I'm talking about mid-section. We ain't got to tell the world what they already know. No, I'm kidding.
We ain't talking. Listen, we ain't talking between the leg thick. I mean,
me either.
I was speaking for you. You body me in the playground, and then 100 days later, I come see you in the playground again, and you dropped 100, right? I'm like, oh, hold on. This guy should never ate my lunch anyway. I mean, he ate my lunch anyway, if you know what I mean. But
I definitely ate your lunch.
Yeah, he definitely ate lunch, and then probably some of it mine. But he's not eating my lunch during the game now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now if I feel like I'm just as big and I'm not Joel, so you know what I mean? But if I'm Joel and I feel like I'm an MVP candidate year in, year out, because that's how he thinks of himself, right? That I would assume my confidence would be off the charts. I don't know. That's just me, But I feel like Joel, he's fought lions, he said, and tigers before. So I mean, I feel like he's a competitive junk. Look at the bias, though. The bias with the no bandana, great head of hair, by the way, phenomenal head of hair, and he said it himself. You know what I mean? Low key, the most underrated head of hair in the game. And I actually, first time I might agree fully with the bias. So proud of him. Different look and off topic, but came out and in my opinion played well so far over the first 3 games in the bubble. I got to give him credit where credit's due. Lord, do you agree with my Pele and Ryan B question. Although I think Burks has permanently replaced Scott from his minutes. Yeah, I mean he permanently replaced him when the trade happened. When even the big dog or the baby dog, even the baby dog missed his flight or something, or they both did. They didn't get out in time or whatever. They replaced him before they were even on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't think Mike Scott's cleared.
Listen,
and obviously, I don't think Big Dog or Baby Big Dog played today either.
Listen, I would send Mike Scott to the Tower of Terror. You know what I mean? And then who else?
With no safety.
Yeah, Tower of Terror. You know, maybe a log flume of some sort. You know, something that
a good old log flume is classic though.
Yeah, I'm not penalizing them. I'm just sending them the rides, Greg. I'm not penalizing.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I'm just getting them out of my hair. Go
enjoy Disney. Go enjoy Disney.
Yeah, call the family down. We don't need you to bubble anymore.
Yeah, call the Beehive down.
Yeah, call the Hive. Call the Hive down. We're not here to bubble you.
Ralph, Mike Scott calls you to come to Disney. You going?
No, I'm leaving. Not down there. Too many high cases.
Any update on Ben's knee from Gritty for Prez? Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
No, Shams mentioned the MRI came back clear. So I mean, obviously it's discomfort, but even right after it, Woj also mentioned there was no swelling and no major pain. So hopefully he's day to day. Hopefully he comes back. I'd expect him to miss one game just because it's the bubble, right?
Yeah.
This might be a comment tonight, though. Might be a comment tonight from Prism, though. Should have gotten Joel hypnotized to see everyone as cat.
Oh my God!
Dropping 40 a night. I mean, you're talking about like 7-1.
40 a night and an IG post.
Maybe 2.
Yep.
He'll be posting pre and post.
Yeah.
He'll be better than the Sixers pre and post game shows.
He'll have it all drafted up too.
Might be the Sixers pre and post game show. Now
they might need one now.
Yeah, that'll be it. Just like this IG post nightly. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, I don't know. I was never here to make friends anyway. So, I got my friends. You know what I mean? Sorry, not sorry. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of guys, but, that's how that business works sometimes. That's why that business is grimy as shit. The media business is grimy on all types of levels. You know what I mean? And even levels of like not grimy reporting. I'm talking about like grimy, execs and shit. And like politics inside it. Like so much stuff, dude. They like, for me, it's all at a small level thing, right? That I couldn't imagine how it was at a bigger level. And from that day on, I said, I'm never going to work for anybody in the media, ever. You know what I mean? We'll do our own damn thing. And, seems like right now that's a smart decision.
Yeah, here we are. We're rocking and rolling.
Would have been tough to be a writer.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe I'm going too far. People got lives to live. Oh my God! Here we go. Boston beating the Sixers 4-2 in the first round. Don. Okay, Don. Where the Pistons at?
Yeah, how's J. Cole working out for you guys?
Yeah, next they're going to be trying to bring Quavo in for a run. Let's bring in more 6'2" and under guys to play in the NBA versus 6'6" and now 6'7"
with Blake Griffin.
Breaking Quavo and
yes, they still have Blake Griffin. I forgot. Yep.
35-year-old J. Cole. I think 6'1.5" listed. I'm sure the combine charts will jack that up to 6'3".
Well, is that with the hair?
Probably. Probably 6'4" in the program. You know what I mean? It's like almost AI height. You're watching.
Like AI was 6'1", right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's AI height. You're like, all right, this guy's not 6'4". If this guy's 6'4", I'm 6'8". Tom and Greg, would you guys have been okay if the Sixers fire Brett Brown in favor of Monty? Who? Monty Williams?
Monty Williams.
I can't. Why are we back to? We just keep circling back. I don't understand. Like I just watched Joe hit straight away. I can't believe.
I wouldn't have been happy of when it would have happened because it would have happened before this year, and I just think that would have been premature. You know, and the same token, and I know a lot of the names that everyone keeps throwing out haven't won anything either. But like, what has Monty Williams won? I like Monty Williams a lot, but if you're going to tell me you're going to cut bait, you know, before the season for Brett, because that would have been the only way to keep Monty around, I don't know if I would have been okay with that. I like Monty Williams as a coach. I think if he was still around after this year, if you then, you know, cut Brett and then keep Monty and promote Monty, I'd be cool with that. But
yeah, but now you're going like back to the well for a different glass of water. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or maybe the same glass of water. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's from the same well, so you assume it's the same glass. But
I do like Monty though.
I do like Monty too. It's not a bad name. Don't get me wrong. I mean, at this point, if they don't get to where we want them to get to, at this point, you can name me a lot of names that are good names. Lord, I know what you're saying. I just don't know how he's part of this rotation. Either one of them. You know, this rotation is going to be 9 at the max come playoff time. Probably even more of an 8-piece a lot of times. So
yeah. Usually when obviously we all know when playoff time comes here, it's only 8 guys, right, that come off that you're very comfortable with, and then you know the back end guys get shelved and they only come in when it's a blowout in the playoffs.
Yeah, is your kitten on restrictions yet?
Who?
Oh well, I guess there's 2 kittens playing there, but you're the main kitten.
Who? LeBron? No. No, he's not. No, not yet. At least
he's on restrictions.
No, he's not.
Oh. Sweeps would have absolutely done the Monty for Brett sweep.
I knew it.
By the way,
I knew it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see his text message yet, and I would assume that he absolutely would. Now, if you would have asked him this time, I think if you would have asked him coming into this year, he might not have. He may not have. But this year really, like it's done for me. It's really like stamped. Like I don't know if this guy's a good coach, man. Like I've seen enough to say he's not. You know what I mean? And I think we're all leaning there. So, but I think a lot of us would say before this year, probably not. Because we were given that next opportunity. We were so close to going to an Eastern Conference final that we had to see if he can get us there again. And the way it was looking is we were not going there again.
Yeah, before the pause.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was looking really bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean, would I make that swap now? Sure, but Monty Williams isn't available now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And good for him that he's not. You know what I mean? He got back in there and doing what he's doing. Where's he at? New Orleans, right?
No, he's with the Suns.
Is that where he's at?
Yeah, he's with the Suns, Monty Williams.
GMP Campo, Nets old coach would be perfect. I mean,
Kenny Atkinson.
I like Kenny.
Yeah.
I like Kenny. It's not a bad name, but it's Kenny. What's Kenny done, really? You know, besides just have 2 stars run him out of town. I mean, what has he done? Right. And 2 stars that aren't even playing.
Yeah, how about that, right? Like
2 stars that aren't even playing. Out of town.
I don't even think he even survived half the season, Tommy, before they said, I can't do this with this dude.
No, you got a steak and a crumb all in one locker room. I mean, you know, it's a matter of time before they run somebody out of there. Yeah. But still. Because, I mean, Kevin Durant just went from the freaking probably the best players coach in the country in Steve Curry. You don't got to do much.
Yeah. Steve Curry. He doesn't got to do nothing, man.
We talk about player development. It's like the opposite. It's just, hey, I'm going to kiss all my stars' asses, and that's how we're going to do it.
If you
have a shooting contest with them.
If you would have looked up easiest job in America right now, at Steve Kerr's face. Okay, because it's just so easy. Just put Steph and Clay out there, sit back and relax, and you're good. You're good to go. It's crazy, man. Very, very crazy.
Yeah, but I don't think Neto played 20 tonight. I thought he barely played tonight. He may have,
I can look that up.
he may have played more minutes, but I mean, I pretty much rewatched this entire game too, and I haven't seen him. Like I've seen him maybe once, maybe. I thought he wasn't getting. I don't think he was going to get minutes tonight. I think Burks was going to get all his minutes.
I saw him late. Ralph, you looking it up?
Yeah, it says he didn't play any. He didn't play at all.
Yeah, so I'm saying, Lord. So I mean, I think they shrinked it up. I think he realized that Burks is his next guy, his next guard off the bench, point guard wise, to run the point.
Burks had 19 minutes with 9 points.
Burks, Shake, and Jay Rich are sort of going to handle the ball out on the perimeter. You know, it's another good basket by Tobias. So I mean, you know, definitely clamped up tonight. And
two Lords. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We might be the same thing. So go ahead.
No, I was going to go back to Lord's last comment about Pell and Brookoff. I mean, if we go on a deep run, obviously we're going to need contributions from, you know, guys you don't expect, right? So there's absolutely, you know, an opportunity for those guys. But I think you're right, though, Tommy. In theory, though, the real rotation isn't going to be that deep. Is there times where maybe Joel's in foul trouble or Al's in foul trouble and you need that second, you know, that third big man to come into play? Sure. Right. Or, you know, is there going to be a time where you might need the space, you know, 3-4 shooters around Joe, you know, for an end of game and Brookoff hits a big shot? Absolutely. I can see it. Right. Especially coming into playoffs and down the stretch. Yeah. I just don't, to your point though, Tommy, I don't think they're a big rotation group yet.
No, nor do I want them to be, you know, right away, because I'm trying to win games and win series. So, I mean, I need to go out with my best 8, my best 9 tops. Like, that's how I need to go out. You know, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out on the back of my stars playing 38 a night. You know what I mean? If not more. So, you know, now, you know, Joe played 33 tonight. So that's good. You know, that's a good sign. And in the fourth, you know, I was watching him handle the ball as a point guard and looked at have a lot in his step, like a lot of spry. Even watching him run up the court right now, right? We got 8 minutes left in the fourth, and he just ran up the court like a gazelle. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a good sign to me, right? And taking away some positives. You got to take positive stars, you know, because at the end, because you know the Ben, you know, you said if he looked a little hobbly post game, that's a little concerning, even though the MRI is good. It could still be more than day to day. It could be a week long thing, and you're already transitioning to another position, and now we got to figure out how to play without you. You know, somebody said it's a nightmare. It always is something here. I mean, it's always something. Real quick, because we'll get the hell out of here. But Flyers, Caps, or what? Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4. Nice.
Yeah. So another round robin. And Boston lost again today, which means they can't get the number 1 seed, even though they were the best team in the Eastern.
So yeah, couple things on that, right? So if the Flyers win in regulation, they could be no worse than the 2 seed.
Yes.
So for Mr. Rob Brinkman, that these games don't matter.
They absolutely do matter.
They absolutely do matter. We came in as the 4 seed, and we could be potentially walking away with the 2 seed. Michael Raffle is out for tomorrow's game. Joel Farabee is in the lineup.
He's up. Yeah, he got called up. I think too.
He got called up.
Yeah.
He looks to be on the 3rd line, at least from practice yesterday or today. So who knows how that really pans out. And then obviously if the Flyers win out, they have the top seed in the East. They control their destiny right now.
Bubble.
Let's go.
He's frozen. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, snap. Are both of you guys going? Oh, this is amazing. I think both of them are frozen up. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Oh, this is not good. Look at this. I love it. I think they're both frozen. They're both frozen up. This is not good. I'm stranded by myself. Help me. Somebody, please. Help me. Yep. They're both frozen. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and end the show. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight on AM to PM Wednesday night. We got shows all the week. Go ahead and check out our sponsors, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. Check them out, Burlington, Princeton, and Jersey, Princeton, Burlington. And yeah, you know where to find them. All right. And Buck Services as well. Listen, shows every week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, Greg and Tommy, just I guess internet connection at the end. And Andre Dillard would let up 10 sacks. That's not true, Yusuf. So I'll talk to you guys. Well, we'll talk to you guys next week. And let's go. Let's go Phillies. Let's go Sixers. Well, for the guys, let's go Sixers. You know where I stand. Let's go Flyers. Talk to you guys soon. See you guys next week. Peace out, guys.